Imagine walking into a room where two people are pitching the same idea. One is full of doubt, speaking hesitantly, focusing on everything that could go wrong. The other is confident, passionate, and excited about the potential. Which one would you trust? The truth is, success doesn't start with strategy. It starts with mindset. A positive attitude isn't just about feeling good. It's about unlocking doors that otherwise remain closed. It's about setting the tone for how the world responds to you. Let's explore why a positive attitude isn't just a nice to have. It's a must-have for success. Think about the most successful people you know. The entrepreneurs who build companies from nothing. The artists who turn their passion into global influence. The leaders who inspire millions. Did they get there by accident? Did they wake up one day with all the answers, all the opportunities laid out in front of them? Of course not. They faced the same fears, the same obstacles, and the same moments of uncertainty as everyone else. The difference? They saw those moments differently. Our mindset is the lens through which we experience the world. Two people can be placed in the exact same situation. One will see a dead end and the other will see a path forward. One will see problems, the other will see possibilities. The only difference between them is how they think. Let's take a real-world example. Imagine a young professional working at a company where opportunities for promotion seem limited. Some might look at that situation and think, there's no room for growth here, I'm stuck. And because they believe that, they stop trying. They put in minimal effort. They disengage. And eventually, their lack of motivation becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Now, take someone else with a different mindset. They might look at that same situation and say, how can I create my own opportunities here? How can I develop skills that will make me indispensable? That person actively seeks new challenges. They volunteer for projects others avoid. They build relationships. They innovate. And before long, they're noticed. Maybe they get promoted, or maybe they develop skills that open doors elsewhere. Either way, their reality changed because their mindset did. This isn't just optimism, it's psychology. Neuroscientists have studied how our thoughts shape our actions, and our actions shape our outcomes. The reticular activating system, RAS, in our brain acts like a filter, determining what information gets through based on what we believe is important. If we constantly focus on limitations, our brain filters out possibilities. But if we focus on opportunities, we start noticing them everywhere. It's the reason why after you buy a new car, you suddenly see that same model everywhere. The cars were always there, you just weren't paying attention. The same thing happens with opportunities. When you shift your mindset, you start seeing things you never noticed before. This applies to every aspect of life. Athletes who believe they can win train harder, push through pain, and outperform those who doubt themselves. Entrepreneurs who believe in their vision keep going long after others would have quit. The way you think determines the way you act, and the way you act determines the results you get. If you walk into a room believing you don't belong there, that energy comes through. People notice. They pick up on the doubt, the hesitation, the lack of conviction. But if you walk in believing you have something valuable to offer, that confidence attracts attention. It shapes how people respond to you, and in turn, it shapes the opportunities that come your way. When you expect failure, you hesitate, you hold back. And that hesitation, that single moment of doubt, can be the very thing that keeps you from moving forward. But when you expect success, you take action. You step into challenges with a mindset that says, I will figure this out. And that simple shift in perspective can change everything. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to attract opportunities effortlessly? They walk into a room and within minutes, people are drawn to them. Conversations flow, introductions happen, and before long, doors begin to open. What is it about them? Is it their experience, their intelligence, their skills? Maybe, but more often than not, it's something far simpler: their energy. Optimism is magnetic. It creates a force that pulls people in, making them want to be a part of whatever that person is doing. It's not about blind positivity or pretending everything is perfect. It's about the way someone carries themselves. Optimistic people bring a sense of possibility, of excitement, of belief that things can and will get better. And in a world where negativity is everywhere, that kind of energy is rare and valuable. Think about it from a practical standpoint. Imagine two entrepreneurs pitching the same idea to investors. One is hesitant, focusing on all the things that could go wrong. They list the risks, the obstacles, the reasons why it might not work. Their tone is flat, their energy low. The other is confident, passionate, and fully committed to their vision. They acknowledge the challenges, but emphasize the possibilities. They talk about what they can build, the impact they can create, and the potential for something great. Who do you think investors will be more inclined to support? It's not just about the idea, it's about the person behind it. People don't just invest in businesses, projects, or ideas. They invest in people. They invest in belief. And belief starts with attitude. The same principle applies in leadership. No one wants to follow a leader who is constantly waiting for things to go wrong. No one is inspired by someone who walks into a meeting already defeated. Teams rally behind leaders who believe in a vision and communicate it with conviction. They follow those who see solutions instead of problems, who create momentum instead of waiting for it. This is why some people naturally become the center of any group. They exude a belief that things are possible. They bring energy that lifts others up rather than dragging them down. They create environments where people feel motivated and capable, and in turn, others want to be around them, work with them, support them. It's not just about leadership or entrepreneurship. This plays out in everyday life. Think about your own experiences. Have you ever had a friend who always complained, always focused on what wasn't working, always assumed the worst? How did you feel after spending time with them? Drained? Uninspired? The energy we surround ourselves with has a direct impact on our own mindset and motivation. Now, think about someone who lifts you up, someone who, no matter what's going on, finds a way forward. Someone who listens, encourages, and brings an energy of resilience and possibility. That's the kind of person people naturally want to be around. Not because they ignore reality, but because they refuse to be controlled by negativity. And this is why optimism is such a powerful advantage. It creates momentum, it builds connections, it fosters trust. People want to work with those who believe in solutions rather than just pointing out problems. They want to collaborate with those who make them feel energized and capable in any field: business, sports, relationships, creative endeavors. Those who bring a spirit of optimism naturally attract opportunities that others miss. Not because they have all the answers, but because they are willing to believe in the possibility of success, even when it's not guaranteed. And that belief is contagious. Every single person who has ever achieved something great has faced challenges. Not small inconveniences, but real obstacles. Moments that tested their patience, their resolve, and their belief in themselves. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't the absence of challenges, it's how they see them. Most people view challenges as barriers, something standing in the way of success, something to be avoided, complained about, or used as an excuse for why things didn't work out. But the most successful people see them differently. They recognize that within every challenge lies an opportunity to grow, to adapt, to innovate, to find a way forward that others might overlook. Take any industry, any profession, any moment in history where progress was made, and you'll find that the driving force behind it wasn't comfort. It was adversity. It was a challenge that forced someone to think differently, to push beyond what they thought was possible. Think about how some of the biggest companies in the world were built. Many of them were born out of problems challenges that needed solutions. When people struggled to find affordable places to stay while traveling, Airbnb was created. When transportation was unreliable and expensive, Uber was founded. These weren't just businesses, they were responses to challenges. But instead of seeing those challenges as roadblocks, their founders saw them as openings. Instead, this shift in perspective applies not just to business, but to personal growth as well. Every major skill, every significant lesson, every defining moment in a person's life is usually tied to a challenge they had to overcome. It's in those moments, when things feel difficult, when failure seems likely, when doubt creeps in, that we are given a choice. We can either see the challenge as something that is happening to us, or we can see it as something that is happening for us. Consider an athlete training for a championship. Every injury, every setback, every grueling workout is a challenge. But those who rise to the top don't see these things as punishments. They see them as opportunities to improve. A sprinter who injures their leg may be forced to train differently, focusing on upper body strength or technique in ways they never would have otherwise. A basketball player who misses a game-winning shot doesn't see it as failure, they see it as feedback, a lesson that sharpens their skill for the next opportunity. The same applies to leadership. A leader who faces a crisis in their organization has two choices: panic and let the situation define them, or step up, adapt, and find new solutions. The greatest leaders aren't the ones who have smooth sailing all the time. They are the ones who can turn turbulence into transformation. They are the ones who, in moments of uncertainty, find new ways forward. Even on a personal level, some of the most defining moments in life come from unexpected hardships. Losing a job, facing rejection, experiencing personal failure. In the moment, these things can feel like the end of the road, but if we choose to see them differently, they become turning points. They force us to rethink our approach, to develop new skills, to uncover strengths we never knew we had. And the truth is, challenges reveal character. When everything is going well, it's easy to stay motivated. It's easy to feel confident. But it's when things get difficult that our true mindset is exposed. Do we retreat or do we push forward? Do we dwell on what went wrong or do we look for what we can learn? History is full of stories of people who turned their biggest obstacles into their greatest advantages. The author who faced dozens of rejections before publishing a best-selling book. The entrepreneur who failed multiple times before finally building a successful company. The scientist whose failed experiments led to groundbreaking discoveries. In each case, the challenge wasn't the end of the story. It was the beginning of something new. Challenges force us to ask better questions. Instead of, why is this happening to me? We start asking, what can I learn from this? How can I use this experience? What is this teaching me that I wouldn't have learned otherwise? And in that shift, the challenge transforms. It stops being something that holds us back and starts being something that pushes us forward. Think about a moment in your life when you hesitated, when you had an idea but didn't speak up, when you wanted to try something new but second-guessed yourself, when an opportunity was right in front of you but instead of reaching for it, you held back. Now ask yourself, what stopped you? Was it a lack of skill? A lack of opportunity? Or was it the voice in your head that whispered, what if I fail? What if I'm not ready? Confidence is the bridge between ideas and execution. It's the difference between someone who dreams about success and someone who actually takes the steps to achieve it. Without confidence, even the most brilliant ideas remain just that, ideas. The most talented individuals stay stuck. The most promising opportunities slip away. Because action requires belief. If you don't believe in yourself, why would anyone else? Confidence doesn't mean you have all the answers. It doesn't mean you won't make mistakes. What it does mean is that you trust yourself enough to take the first step, even when the outcome isn't guaranteed. And that first step, that's everything. Look at the people who have changed the world, not just the famous entrepreneurs, athletes, or artists, but the people in everyday life who make things happen. The leaders who inspire their teams, the teachers who challenge their students, the individuals who stand up for something they believe in. What do they all have in common? They take action. And they take action because they have confidence, not necessarily that they will succeed, but that they will figure it out along the way. The misconception is that confidence is something you either have or don't have, that some people are just born with it and others are not. But that's not how it works. Confidence is built through action. It's built through experience. It's built through stepping into uncertainty and realizing that even when things don't go as planned, you're still capable of moving forward. Think about learning to ride a bike. The first time, you're shaky. You overthink every movement. You might even fall, but you get back up, and slowly something shifts. Your body starts to trust itself. Your movements become more natural. You stop questioning every little thing, and before you know it, you're riding without even thinking about it. That's confidence in action. And the same principle applies to everything in life. The more you act, the more confident you become, the more confident you become, the more action you take. It's a cycle, one that builds momentum. But it can also work in reverse. Hesitation breeds doubt. Doubt leads to inaction. Inaction leads to missed opportunities, which then reinforce the belief that you're not capable. And just like that, a person can get stuck in a loop of fear and inaction. Now let's look at the opposite scenario. Picture someone walking into a room with energy, purpose, and self-assurance. They don't know exactly how the conversation will go, but they step forward anyway. They don't know if their idea will be accepted, but they share it anyway. They don't know if they'll get the job, win the deal, or land the opportunity, but they put themselves out there anyway. What happens? People take notice. Not because this person is the smartest in the room, not because they have all the answers, but because confidence is compelling. It signals to others that you're worth paying attention to, that you believe in what you're saying, that you have something valuable to contribute. And when people see that belief, they start to believe too. This is why confidence isn't just a personal advantage, it's an amplifier. It turns small opportunities into big ones. It turns potential into reality. Because in the real world, the best ideas don't always win. The most talented person doesn't always get the job. The most deserving individual doesn't always get recognized. The opportunities go to those who step up, who take action, who put themselves in the arena instead of watching from the sidelines. Confidence also changes the way we handle setbacks. Without it, failure feels like confirmation of our worst fears, that we weren't good enough, that we shouldn't have tried in the first place. But with confidence, failure is just feedback. It's information. It's something to learn from and adjust. Think about an athlete who steps up to take a game-winning shot. Do they know for certain that they'll make it? No. But they take the shot anyway. His confidence isn't about certainty. It's about trust. Trust that even if they miss, they'll be ready for the next opportunity. Trust that their preparation, their instincts, and their ability to adapt will guide them forward. And here's the key. Confidence doesn't come before action. It comes from action. Waiting until you feel 100% ready is the fastest way to stay exactly where you are. Confidence is built by doing, by stepping forward, by taking risks, by proving to yourself through experience that you are capable. The world doesn't reward hesitation. It rewards those who move, who create, who believe in themselves enough to take the first step, especially when no one else is watching. Life is unpredictable. No matter how much we plan, no matter how hard we work, we will all face setbacks. There will be moments when things don't go as expected, when obstacles seem insurmountable, when the path forward is unclear. In these moments, some people break down while others break through. What makes the difference? It's not intelligence. It's not luck. It's A positive mindset isn't about ignoring reality or pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing how to respond when things don't go as planned. It's about seeing beyond the immediate struggle and recognizing that setbacks are temporary, that they do not define us unless we allow them to. People who cultivate a positive mindset don't avoid challenges. They face them with a different perspective. They don't ask, "Why is this happening to me?" They ask, "What can I learn from this? How can I grow from this?" This shift in thinking is what fuels resilience, the ability to bounce back, to adapt, to keep going even when things are difficult. Because resilience isn't just about endurance. It's about perspective. It's about believing that every challenge has a solution, every failure has a lesson, and every obstacle is an opportunity to become stronger. Take a moment to think about the most resilient people you know. The ones who seem unshaken even when life throws them its worst. The ones who continue to move forward despite setbacks. What do they all have in common? It's not that they never struggle. It's that they refuse to stay down. And at the core of that resilience is a mindset that tells them, "This is not the end of my story. I will figure this out. I will grow from this." History is filled with stories of people who turned failure into fuel, who faced adversity head-on and refused to let it define them. Take Thomas Edison, for example. Before he invented the light bulb, he failed over 1,000 times. But instead of seeing those failures as proof that he wasn't capable, he saw them as progress. He famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 1,0,0,0,0 ways that won't work." That is the mindset of resilience. The same principle applies in everyday life. Imagine two people facing the same career setback. Maybe they both get laid off from their jobs. One spirals into negativity, believing that this is the end of their career, that they will never find another opportunity. The other sees it as a chance to reinvent themselves, to learn new skills, to explore paths they never would have considered before. The situation is the same. The difference is mindset, and that mindset determines everything that follows. In sports, the most resilient athletes are not the ones who never lose. It's the ones who can take a loss, analyze it, and come back even stronger. A basketball player who misses a game-winning shot doesn't quit. They train harder. They review their mistakes. They step onto the court the next time more prepared than before. Their positive mindset allows them to see failure not as a reflection of their worth, but as an opportunity to improve. Resilience isn't just about bouncing back. It's about bouncing forward. It's about using setbacks as stepping stones instead of roadblocks. And the foundation of that resilience is a mindset that refuses to see challenges as permanent. Science backs this up. Studies in psychology show that people who maintain a positive outlook are better equipped to handle stress. Their brains release fewer stress hormones, allowing them to think more clearly, make better decisions, and recover from difficulties faster. A negative mindset, on the other hand, fuels stress, anxiety, and inaction. It convinces people that things are worse than they actually are, that they have no control, that there's no point in trying. But here's the thing. Resilience is not something you're born with, it's something you build. And it starts with mindset. It starts with how you talk to yourself in difficult moments. Do you let negative thoughts take over, or do you challenge them? Do you tell yourself that you can't, or do you remind yourself that you can learn? The words we tell ourselves matter because they shape our actions, and our actions shape our future. A positive mindset doesn't eliminate problems, but it gives us the strength to face them. It turns obstacles into opportunities, failures into lessons, and setbacks into comebacks. It keeps us moving forward, even when the road is uncertain. It allows us to take control of our story, rather than letting circumstances dictate who we become. Success is not just about intelligence, skill, or even opportunity. It is deeply rooted in mindset. A positive attitude creates a ripple effect that influences every aspect of life. It shapes how we see challenges, how we handle setbacks, and how we interact with the world around us. When we cultivate a strong, optimistic mindset, we begin to attract the very things we seek: opportunities, connections, and breakthroughs. We build resilience in the face of adversity, confidence in our abilities, and an energy that draws others toward us. The way we think directly impacts the way we act, and the way we act determines our results. This is why the most successful individuals, whether in business, sports, leadership, or personal growth, are not those who never experience failure, but those who refuse to let failure define them. They take action despite uncertainty, they see obstacles as stepping stones, and they surround themselves with positivity because they know that energy is contagious. Your thoughts create your reality, your attitude fuels your actions, and your actions shape your future. The choice is always yours. Will you let doubt hold you back, or will you step forward with confidence, optimism, and a mindset that turns every challenge into an opportunity?